All right, we're back with mystery sample number 2 here, Will, and markedly different, I will say, just right off of the cuff here, is that it's super light in color compared to the last sample that we did. So this is like a straw, hay, even maybe lighter than that.
Yeah,
Like
pale gold.
yeah, standard non-dehydrated urine color maybe. Um,
Very very evocative comparison there.
I'm sure that'll get used in the marketing. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, write that down, mystery rum supplier, if you're listening right now. We should pause real quick so that I can share it with everyone that
oh
this
yes.
semi-blind kind of review number 2 is Transcontinental Rum Line High Seas, a blend of aged rum from Panama, unaged rum from Jamaica, and unaged Grand Arome rum from Martinique. Okay, so now everyone but John knows what this is. I know what this is. John does not know what it is. I have tasted this. John has never tasted this. So we've got first impressions on the color. So what can you infer from the color itself,
Well,
John?
it's either very lightly aged or super only continental aged type of thing. Because I've seen some this color that have been surprising. I can think of the Grander 12
Yeah.
is this color. There's a few other ones that have been continentally aged that are in the teens or even higher, in some cases
Yeah.
an 18 to 20, that still has a close color to this. So it's even just the color is not going to give me a full indicator. However, I will say most of the time you're looking at, 3 years and under. So let's go in and nose it a little bit. Yeah, it's still giving me really lightly aged nose as
Mm.
well, which means the cane distillate is coming through.
Ooh, I
It's
like how
not.
you said cane distillate. You're not even showing your hand on whether you think this is molasses or cane juice. You're
I,
just you're leaving yourself
yes.
options to go in here.
Yeah, I'm not committing yet. I mean, I'm one nosing into this. Give me a second here to start to formulate something. But
Yeah, sure.
but yes, it's definitely not driven by the cask. Interesting. I'm getting something in the realm of agave spirits with this.
Interesting. That is interesting. What when you say agave spirits, what do you mean by that? Do you mean the smell of it reminds you of a
Yes,
tequila or something
correct.
like that? Okay.
Like a reposado tequila
Ah,
specifically.
okay.
Yeah, I'm not getting like smoky mezcal or anything.
Right, right,
But
right.
that's an interesting one. I mean, it really does seem like it's a cane juice rum here with the nose that I'm getting.
Okay.
But I want to reserve until I get into it on the palate to make sure that I feel that way.
I get kind of like a sweet candied funk kind of. I get some
Right.
some pineapple, some mango, some caramel, some vanilla.
So
Um
pineapple, I agree with, and then maybe like honeydew
yeah, I could see that. So
or
yeah,
cantaloupe
a
somewhere in
melon
there.
vibe.
Right. Right.
Buttery a little on the nose as well to me.
Yeah, I could see that. Yep. All right, I'm gonna check this one out. Well, this is either a Jamaican rum or it's one that is reproducing a very similar type of thing.
Okay. How much are you trying to read my face, by the way?
Almost none. I should be.
Are you playing a game within the game here?
You know what? If I was smart, I would be, and I'm not.
I'm gonna
I'm in my head right now.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to start wearing, or whoever is the non-blind taster, you're gonna do like a poker game, like dark sunglasses, hat on, just complete stone face, like not reacting at all. That would be really boring
Bandana all the way up
podcasting,
to
I
the
think.
nose.
Yeah. But go bust out a COVID
COVID
mask,
mask.
yeah,
Yeah.
put that
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, this one yet again feels familiar in a way, similar to what I said about the last one, and it does give me the Jamaican vibe right off the bat. So, like I said, if I'm not committing to it being a Jamaica, but it's certainly going after that category, if you will, for me so far.
yeah. How similar would you say the palate is to the nose? Big difference there. Are things coming out stronger on the palate than you found on the nose?
No, I feel like this one so far has been fairly straightforward for me. I think what's on the nose is what I'm finding in the palate so far. I will say the palate is a little bit weaker than I anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this one, the ABV is closer to 40 to 43,
Okay.
or maybe 45 tops.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because I'm getting less overall flavor from it. What is there is good, but it's not necessarily knocking me over. Now, I've had a fair amount of rums like this, so
Hmm.
I'm fairly experienced, and I don't want to, that sounded
You
terrible,
think
but
you've had a fair amount of rums like
right.
this.
Well, what I mean is that yes, what I'm trying to say is I have no idea what this is, but what I feel like it is and where it belongs with other things that I've had in this type of zone, if you will, area, subgenre, I don't know what to call it, that I am experienced enough with it to kind of not be like, whoa, what is this? And it's the first time I've ever tried something like
Yeah,
it, if that makes sense. All right, let me get a little bit more on the palate here.
sure. While you're doing that, I'll share some of my notes on it. I think the big things for me are the fruit that John mentioned. So again, lining up with the nose a little bit for me, I get kind of pineapple, mango things, and then maybe some melon, like John was saying. I also get something on the palate that sticks out to me that was less apparent on the nose is kind of a bubble gum flavor.
Hmm.
And then I do get a little bit of aged backbone, kind of some caramel oak in there as well. Not not huge dominant or anything, but just kind of as a component of the rum, kind of there in the
Yeah.
background. So that's the palette for me.
It also reminds me of the Homesky Fiji
Hmm.
that we picked with them
It's
a
got
few
the
years
pool
ago.
water thing a little bit, doesn't it?
Right, right. So that could be something similar also. Yeah, so I'm getting a little bit of bitterness, not in an overwhelming or bad way. But it's not a sweeter rum for sure, even though there's a little bit there. But like when we talk about the fruits, it brings to mind more of like the rind of some of those fruits and how that there's like that bitterness to the rind. If you've ever like bit into one or tasted some of it, it's too close to the rind. That's kind of where I'm going with it.
That's interesting. I
Um,
think for me, it's more toward juicy than kind of the rind component.
I'm not getting the bubble gum on
And
this
I
one.
get some nice sweetness and things from it. So that might
Mhm.
be the one area we kind of are having a different experience.
Yeah, I, I, I can't find the bubble gum on it that you're
Okay.
looking for, or that you have. I do get some sweetness, especially towards the finish. So there is a sweetness that starts to work itself out, and it kind of help. It's making me salivate, which usually is a good sign, right?
Yeah.
That's another thing we learned from Maggie Campbell.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah, if you're salivating, it's usually because it's a good rum and you're enjoying
Yeah.
it.
So first impressions are on the board. Proof? What are you thinking? Are you still sticking with what you said initially?
43.
43?
Yeah.
Okay. And what
Uh,
about age? Let's put a number on this.
I'm gonna go with 2 year. Oh God, I really want to go less than that. Um, yeah, let's do 1 year.
Okay. Wow,
I,
one
it
year.
would be
All
it
right.
would be weird, but right? Could you imagine it? But well, yes. I'm gonna do 1 year as a general guess.
All right. I like you going for it instead of waffling, not sitting
Yeah,
on the fence there. Country of origin and price. What do you think in those terms?
I'm less convinced as I'm going that it is Jamaica, and more convinced it's somewhere else like a Fiji or gosh, what else could this be? Australia is
Oh,
not
interesting.
out of the realm of
Hmm.
possibility, because there is a little bit of that kind of it's not strong white pepper note, but there's a certain Australian note, and I'm not getting it like, oh, that's Australia, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it's like South Pacific in nature.
Well, there's also a
Uh,
ton of new Australian rums.
yeah,
There's so many new producers out there that who knows.
yeah, yeah. So that's kind of where my experience is taking me is South Pacific, Fiji, something along those lines right now.
Okay. And price?
So I think this one is going to probably be marketed to work in cocktails. Again, my brain is going similar to the Fiji. And so if you're doing that, it's like $35.
Okay. And last segment, the say it with your chest final guess. What do you want to
Ah,
put it on wax? What do you think it is?
I'm conflicted here because I do want it. Part of me wants to say Fiji, but I feel like it wouldn't be Fiji for some reason. I don't know, like the secondary part of the game. now
Yeah.
tells me it wouldn't be Fiji. So I'm second guessing where else could I go? I mean, you mentioned bubblegum, and also I'll say whenever somebody mentions bubblegum, I think Savannah.
Yeah.
Um,
Makes sense. The Savannah Her, the classic.
right. But I don't know that I'm really getting that out of this either. So it would be hard for me to commit there. Yeah, I guess for lack of a better option right now, I'm going to go with Fiji,
All right.
South Pacific Distillers.
So, dramatic reveal time. Let me pull this bottle around. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here it is.
Okay, what is this? High
Transcontinental Rum Line, High
Seas.
Seas.
Oh, I've seen this one too, but never. Yeah, I have no idea what's in this.
You remember I was describing this label to you a while ago, and how when
Yes,
you look through the porthole, you could see the map back there? Do you see that?
I don't. I mean, I see that there's a porthole, but I can't really see what's in the map. Oh,
What
I
about now?
do.
That's pretty cool,
Yeah,
right?
it is really cool, actually. But it's all Caribbean. Yeah. So it's
Exactly.
all
It is.
stuff from the
Well,
Caribbean.
um, so what this is a blend of rums. It is tropically aged rum from Panama,
Wow.
unaged Jamaican rum, and unaged Grand Arome from Martinique. So this is
Wow.
all
Okay.
molasses. Even the Martinique component is molasses because it's Grand Arome.
Yeah.
Two unaged rums and one aged rum. So I kind of threw you a little bit of a curveball here. I
Yeah.
think
That was
the natural
unfair.
inclination is to think one origin. This is three origins: Panama, Jamaica, Martinique, all molasses rum, some aged, some unaged. So I
What
don't
was
know
the
the
age component?
I
Doesn't
don't
say.
know how it doesn't say, the
Uh,
tech sheet doesn't say how long it was aged. It just says it was tropically aged. So I would I'm gonna guess it's like a 5 to 8 year if I had to guess how much
hmm.
it is. Um, and it's 45%. So you were very close on that area as well. And I believe this retails between 30 to 40. I've seen varying price points, so I don't know exactly, but I think it would probably fall somewhere in the mid 30s or low 30s. So you
There
kind
we
of
go.
exactly nailed the price point too. And it is a rum. They literally describe it as described for cocktail use. So it says the first TCRL project designed for mixing and cocktail use.
Yeah.
So you kind of nailed exactly what this rum is supposed to be for. Just, a little off on the origins there, but
I mean,
it's a tough one.
yes, it's messed up that I didn't even consider a multi-origin, because that would have made sense. Because my first initial impression was, bam, Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
For that component that's very clearly present. But when you start to mix in those other things, it throws your whole thought process off. Because I'm like, well, yes, but no, and then your
Yeah.
brain just goes to where else would do something like that. And then my brain literally, I think, was like flipping through files in there, going, what's the closest thing to this? Maybe it's the Fiji,
Yeah.
and didn't consider a multi-origin. So yeah. All right. Well, I'm pleased with that too, because it's really friggin' hard to
You
figure
haven't
out.
embarrassed yourself
Yeah.
through two semi-blind kind of reviews so far. So you're acquitting yourself well here today. I think last, just to kind of tie a bow on this, would I buy a bottle? Who would I recommend this to? I would buy a bottle of this. I actually think the nice thing about this rum, I think the inevitable comparisons, since this is a kind of designed as a high-end mixing rum, I guess you would
Mm-hmm.
say, the comparisons are going to be Probitas,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the other one is maybe Smith and Cross. And I think the nice thing to me about this is it's a very flavorful mixing rum without being like, I think there's a wide range of people you could serve this to in a
Yeah.
wide range of drinks, and they would enjoy it. I think it's very versatile. To me, it's not as funky as Probitas and not as funky as Smith and Cross either. I think
Right.
both of those are funkier.
Right.
Um, I think this one is a little bit mellower than those, and obviously major ABV difference between this and Smith and Cross, which I believe Smith and Cross is 57%. This is
Right.
45. Probitas is 47. So to me, this is kind of like a cousin of Probitas that probably has a wider range of applications, just because it's and I think Probitas is fairly approachable, but
Yeah.
I like there are some people out there that Probitas is too funky for. I know because I've met them, but typically not rum enthusiasts.
Right.
So I think this is something that bartenders could get a lot of mileage out of. As we've said on the podcast before, neither of us are especially adventurous cocktailers, but something I've been really enjoying this on as the weather begins to warm up is just
Mm-hmm.
this over a big rock, just an ice cube.
Yeah.
Nothing else added to it.
I mean,
It's
that's
it's
kind of the true test of a good mixer. If you can drink it straight and maybe it's not necessarily going to be your favorite sipping experience, but that
uh-huh.
it's you're enjoying it, then
Oh
that
yeah.
seems like you've got a good product there. Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice to drink neat. I think as you
Mm-hmm.
said, it lacks a little bit in flavor if it's just something you're going to sip
Mm-hmm.
neat and you're looking
Mm-hmm.
for like a complex experience. It does have flavor, but I think it's more flavor that's designed to be complementary in a cocktail context. That said, it takes on water really well, even though it's only 45%. And I have actually haven't made this into a daiquiri yet. I'm sure it
Mm-hmm.
would be fantastic. I think that aged backbone just gives it a nice mellowing effect and a little bit of richness to it that is really nice. So I would
Yeah.
buy a bottle of this, and I would recommend it to anyone who does enjoy making cocktails. I think if you're not a cocktail person, if you're just a sip neat person, you probably don't need this. I don't think you would dislike it, but it's just probably not what you're looking for.
Right.
This to me is something that you have around to throw into drinks, to drink over ice on a hot day when you just want to chill and relax, something like that. So I think it excels really well at that.
But it's a problematic category, right? Because when you're talking about something you're using in drinks, we always discuss about like, well, how expensive does it need to be,
Hmm.
right? And are you going to really, at the end of the day, be able to enjoy the difference in a drink that uses it? I think the answer is yes for certain ones. Again, as a non-cocktail oriented person, for daiquiris, for things that aren't super complicated, don't have a lot of stuff that's covering up, the flavors or adding to the flavors. I think this is going to shine. Whereas if it's in something that's going to get buried in I don't know, rum punch or something that you just,
Hmm.
yeah, you've got a little bit of rum flavor in there, but really it's not necessarily the star, then why use it?
Yeah.
Um, so that would be my thought on it. I don't know that I need a bottle for my bar, again, because of the type of drinker that I am, but I would absolutely gladly recommend this to anybody.
All right. Well, that wraps up our first semi-blind kind of rum reviews. We're really eager to hear your thoughts and feedback on this segment. It's something that we're hoping to do more of. So if you enjoyed this, let us know what you think. Let us know what you think of the style, the half semi-blind as we're positioning it. As always, you can send us an email, host@rumcast.com. That's HOST at rumcast.com, or you can find us on social media. John, where can they find us?
Yeah, at the Rumcast, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And we try to get on there as often as possible and respond to comments, DMs, all of that. So if you're on those platforms and you want to reach out to us, please go ahead and do. Let us know, like Will said, how did this episode strike you? And if you don't want us to do it again, we would understand.
Ooh, it all comes full circle. So yes, and we will also be putting these on YouTube. So if you would like to watch, see the bottle reveals, look at the labels and all that good stuff, see John's face as he's desperately trying to discern
I
the
was pulling at
origin
straws. Yeah.
of these mystery rums that he was trying. You can go to youtube.com/, I believe it's slash the rumcast. If that doesn't work, just search the rumcast, it'll come up and find us there. But yeah, we'd love to hear your feedback, ideas, thoughts, what you'd like to see us taste, if anything else, or if you think we should just stick to interviews, let us know. I can't promise we'll abide that, but always interested in every type of feedback. So
Yeah.
until then, let us know, by the way, if you've had these rums. We'd love to hear your
Oh,
takes
yeah.
on them, what you think, whether we overrated or underrated them. Send us that, and we'll try to read some listener responses on future episodes. So until then, John, I know you are about to jet off on vacation, so it'll be a while before I see you again. So safe
Yes.
travels and have a great
Any
trip.
any anybody over in Italy, let me know. Hit me up. I'll be over there
Yeah.
for a few weeks, traveling across the country with the family. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Send your Italy rum tips to host@rumcast.com so John can check those out. But
Yeah.
until next time, cheers everyone.
Cheers.